What if I told you?
John Wick is Neo. Can't be.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Reserved Seating. On today's episode, movie theory about John Wick and Neo being the same guy. This has been around the internet for a while, now it's my turn to tackle it.
First order of business. No, not those coins. More on that later. First order of business is, of course, the use of landlines in both films. Here we see the Russian making a phone call to our hero, Mr. Wick, who of course answers it using his landline. Why a landline? Why not a cell phone? We'll get to that later. We know why landlines are important in the Matrix. They're the way in and out of the system. But why are they so damn important to John Wick? Why can't he just call people on a cell phone like everybody else does? The movies do take place in modern times. Or is it because Neo, aka John Wick, needs to communicate through the landlines? That's right. We do eventually get to see a landline being used in a more technical way. Here we see Morpheus and his ragtag members of the Resistance hooking Neo up, getting him set up for the first time as he prepares to enter the system, as he prepares to leave his real world and enter what he believes is the world of the Matrix, or something like that. There it is, connected to another machine. How interesting. Remember those coins I was alluding to earlier? Well, here they are again. Let's talk about them. What are they? We know they are used as some sort of assassin currency. But why? Why gold coins? Regular money exists in this world. You can see some dollars in the shot where the Russian opened the door to his safe. But these assassins, they pay each other in coins. Gold coins to be exact. Where else have we seen gold coins as currency? Did you guess? Or is it stumping you yet? Let me give you a hint. Bitcoin, mother... That's right, Bitcoin. The ever-loving virtual currency that exists only in the virtual world. Now, why would John Wick pay in virtual coin? Because he's in the virtual world. That's why. Now, in the scene in the Matrix where Morpheus is walking with Neo and they're inside the program, and Morpheus is explaining to Neo that everyone walking around him is oblivious to the fact that they're plugged in. Morpheus turns around and tells Neo, was he looking at the woman in the red dress? Neo says yes. He says, look again. Then he freezes the program. Remember that? Now, the same thing happens in John Wick at the very end when Wick is talking to Winston and he tells Winston, well, why am I not dead? He says, because I deemed it not to be. Winston gets on the phone, says now, and all of a sudden everyone freezes in Central Park. Random, oblivious New Yorkers freeze in Central Park. I don't know about you, but this is concrete evidence that Neo and Mr. Wick are stuck in the same universe. This would not happen in the real world.
Remember that famous scene in The Matrix where Neo asks Trinity if she can fly the chopper, to which she replies, not yet. Then of course she pulls her cell phone out and gives a call to our friend Tank back in the real world. Then he uploads the program directly into her link in the back of her neck. And of course she does that blinky thing to let us know that the programs went in, and voila, just like that she says,
let's go.
And she can fly the chopper. In John Wick, there is a scene very similar to that, where Wick is talking to the Russian. Wick is asking the Russian to pull the contract on Wick's head, and also wants to know the location of the Russian son, so that way there can be no more bloodshed as long as he turns the guy over, blah blah blah. But the real thing is what the Russian does and how he pulls the contract. He looks up and to the left and does a blinky thing, just like Trinity did in the Matrix scene. Almost like he's getting information from another source, or from the real world, as he too is plugged in to the system. Now, the underlying theme, and I believe the most important theme in both of these films, is the nature of choice. Now, don't worry about those pigeons. We'll get to that in part 2 of this video. Back to choice. Everyone is always referencing it. Everyone's always talking about it. You're giving me a choice. There is a choice. You have to make a choice. We know Neo is confronted with this countless times, and so is Mr. Wick. Now, if you listen here, you can see when the Bowery King is telling John Wick about the time they first met, and he also references choice.
But you also gave me a choice.
In The Matrix, we see Neo confronted with the choice again, this time the choice that he has to make to save Morpheus. He remembers when the Oracle told him that he had to make a choice.
Are you sure you want to hear this? She told me that I would have to make a choice.
We know that the choice the Oracle was talking about was the sacrifice Neo has to make in order to save Morpheus. Let's talk about love, baby, or in this case, lack thereof. What drives these men to do what they do? In John Wick, he is grieving the loss of his wife Helen, who died, of course, of unknown circumstances. In The Matrix, Neo is grieving the loss of Trinity, whom, even with all his great powers, was unable to save at the end of the Matrix Revolutions, although he did save her once by removing a bullet from inside of her. Both men are driven by the fact that their lives cannot continue in the way that they'd like because the one most important feature that kept them grounded is now gone. Now in The Matrix, Neo was never able to get over the fact that he could not save Trinity. When he went to the machine world, she died there in his arms, connected to a machine, just like Helen. Which of course brings me to the one most important thing, the notion of the one. What do we mean by that? At the end of John Wick, we see Winston reach for his phone and put in the order for John Wick to be excommunicado. And what is John Wick's reference number? 1111111. That's right, a whole bunch of ones. Just like Neo, John Wick is the one. Make sure to like and subscribe to our channel, and thanks for watching.